Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my very last video of 2018. I'm obviously not sitting in my studio right now. I'm sitting in my bedroom. I figured that for the sake of this video, just being in a more comfortable setting was best. I'm literally sitting here in workout pants and the sweatshirt that I probably wear 5 out of the 7 days of the week. I promise I wash it. I'll be honest with you. I have been really struggling to sit here and film this video for you. I've been really determined to share this story with you, but at the same time, really hesitant to sit down and film it. I've tried to write like bullet points of making sure I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I've tried to write quotes and think of ideas on how to set this video up and just how to talk to you guys and share just something that I really just need to share with you. This is not a video I want to share. This is not a video that... This is a video I wish I wasn't sitting down to do. Before I jump right into why I'm leaving 2018 behind me and why I'm leaving 2018 in the past, before I get into all that, I really need you guys to understand why I'm doing this video. I feel like as a society we have just been taught to keep negative things, secrets, deep down. Like, we have been taught to hide them deep down within ourselves and not share them with the world around us. That's why we have a wall built up, or that's why, you know, we're not as emotional, or that's why we don't open up to people. We are so scared of the possibility that someone's going to sit here and judge us for the things that we didn't ask to be put through. We're so scared that our actions are going to determine our self-worth, that our deepest secrets are something that should be just that, our deepest secrets. But as somebody who literally sits in front of the camera all day and opens up pieces of my life and shares them with you guys, for me to sit here and not share this with you, I feel like I'm lying, like I'm an imposter. One of my friends had told me about this, I guess, this thing that Michelle Obama was talking about in her book. It's called imposter syndrome, where someone who's out in the public eye, you know, is all happy and they're pushing out positivity and they're kind of putting on this facade. And it's not a fake facade. It's just them portraying just their happiness, their positivity, the good things, the glass half full. But it is a feeling of being an imposter of yourself, because I'm not sitting here every single day letting you know when I had a bad day. I'm not sitting here telling you guys all of the negative, all of the bad things that go on in my life. And to be quite honest with you, 2018 was such a shit year that I feel like I'm an imposter. Like, I just feel like I am a liar for not sharing this with you guys, when I don't owe anyone anything. I don't need to share these personal things about myself. I don't need to even tell you guys what my real name is if I didn't want to. But I'm a really big firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I did not build this platform for no reason. I did not build it from zero to where it is now for no reason. It's not just about, I can't say that it's just about doing something that makes me happy. It is just so much more meaningful than that. And my reasoning for wanting to continue to build this platform is not just so that I can share positivity with you guys and share pretty little things with you like makeup and beauty and hair and tips and all that fun stuff. It's a platform where I hope to at least make one person smile every single day, where I hope that I can at least change someone's mind, where I can inspire someone, where I can just remind somebody that they're not alone. With that being said, I think that all of our deepest, darkest secrets, all of the things that we have gone through in our lives years ago, today, tomorrow, the next day, the future, I really think that God doesn't have us go through these obstacles of life just for no reason. I really think that He gives His strongest warriors the toughest battles. This is not a video that I'm sharing with you guys. I'm not spilling my deepest, darkest secrets out there for you so that you can feel some sort of pity towards me. Now, I am not at my strongest and I'm not at my weakest, but I am weak and I am strong right now, sitting in front of this camera. And for the past couple of weeks and months, I have been both weak and strong. I want you guys to remember that I'm a human being just like you. I don't see a reason to hide these negative things that have happened in 2018 and for the last decade. I don't feel a reason to hide that anymore, because what if I have this huge platform? It is nowhere near as large as someone like Michelle Obama or another YouTuber or even someone that's a little bit bigger than me. It's nowhere near as big. But if I can at least help one person, at least help one person, and I don't mean, I just mean to even the smallest extent, like if I can at least help someone make a change in their life, that is more than enough for me. If I can help someone by sharing my story, if you can help someone by sharing your story, why wouldn't you? For the past decade, I have been through the same type of relationship. I don't know what it's like to be treated correctly. I have no idea what it's like over 10 years ago. I met a guy on MySpace. No, this is not a catfish story or anything like that. I met a guy on MySpace and we were talking for some time, and he had promised me things that any 14-year-old would have dreamt about. You know, as a 14-year-old girl, I mean, don't we all want that fairy tale life? We don't have an understanding of the responsibilities of an adult or having a career or just what it takes to live life. And I let this person wrap me around their finger and drag me along for over 2 years. I hadn't met him. I met him a couple of months after we were talking for some time, and it was pretty obsessive. It was consistent talking on the phone, consistent aiming, consistent messaging back and forth. It was non-stop. And the relationship progressed to, me meeting him and continuing to talk, and it got to the point where it started to really concern my parents. And my parents did their own digging and found out that this guy was actually 18 years old when I was 14. Now, in New Jersey, you guys, that is illegal. That is not a relationship, and that person, the 18-year-old, can get in some serious trouble if they continue to have a romantic relationship with a someone who is younger. At what point, I don't really know, but the relationship started to progress in a really negative way, and it started to take me away from being a kid. It took me away from hanging out with my friends, doing extracurricular activities, sports, doing well in school. It took just so much so that whenever someone would have an issue, or not even an issue, just try to help me understand that, he would flip it all around and make it seem like the person trying to help me wasn't actually trying to help me. Think about being in a circle, and the circle just keeps going around and around and around and around, and nothing ever falls on the manipulator. No matter how many times you go around that circle, nothing ever falls on them. This was just a constant battle. They would say things. I was going into high school, and I would, want to put makeup on and do my hair and wear cute clothes. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with playing around with makeup and your hair and clothes and anything like that. I enjoyed doing those things, and every time I would wear makeup or do my hair or wear anything but sweatpants and a t-shirt to school, I would get questioned. Why are you wearing so much makeup? You look so beautiful without makeup. Who are you wearing this makeup for? You don't need to wear any of that makeup. Don't wear any makeup. Just don't. You don't need it. Don't wear any makeup at all. This person turned me against all of my friends, turned me against my family, made me think that the only person that actually truly cared about me was him, when in actuality it was anything but. I don't know what his intentions were, what he liked, what idea he had in his head, what he wanted from this relationship. Was it the attention? These 2 years of my life, they were just such a crucial, being 14 is such a crucial time in your childhood to be influenced by so many different things. And unfortunately, it was my first relationship. It was the first boy I ever really dated, the first person that I spent so much of my time with, to the point where it would affect all of my relationships moving forward. Those 2 years were mentally draining, extremely mentally and emotionally and even physically abusive. I was so depressed at some points that I would come to the point where I genuinely wanted to hurt myself. I wanted out. There were so many different people involved. It was much more than just my parents taking my phone from me and not allowing me to see or talk to this person. It was It was police, it was therapists, it was multiple therapists, it was all these different people that I remember coming to my house to try to explain something to me, and it just, I put my family through so much that it's almost embarrassing to sit here. And I could never take it back. And I am beyond apologetic for those 2 years of my life to my family, my friends, and especially myself. There was just one day where one of my friends just gave me the chance, and we went out to a movie, and I don't know. I don't know what happened within me. Guys, this relationship was so bad to the point where I was literally getting called a stupid almost every single day, every time I made a silly mistake or did something wrong. And just one day I was fed up and I left. I was done. And I had never spoke to that person since. These 2 years of my life dramatically affected every relationship that I had up until this point in my life. I went through a couple of serious relationships in high school after that, or what you would consider a serious relationship, and I ended up in some really mentally and emotionally abusive relationships to the point where I wasn't realizing that I was even in that type of relationship because all of that was normal to me. You know, it seemed normal for someone to call me a name when they were angry. It seemed normal for someone to defecate my character when I did something wrong. And it's just like I kept letting this happen. I thought that I was done with my learning. I thought I was done with, you know, all these obstacles in my life. I thought that God was ready for me to just grow as an adult and let me move on. And you know what? For a good amount of time, I did. I turned into the person that you see on this camera, the person that I want to be and the person that I want to become. For a really, really, really long time throughout almost all of college, I focused on me and only me, and that's okay. And that is 110% okay. And I don't know, I never, throughout all of college, I just never wanted a serious relationship. I had no desire for one. And it was a really good learning experience, and it almost let me catch up on learning about myself and turning into, you know, starting to become the woman that I am today. And I was so sure that I would never ever let someone treat me that way again. And when I came to the end of my college career, I felt like I was ready to potentially have a relationship with someone. And I did. I met this guy, and he seemed to be everything that kind of aligned with my little book of what I want in a man. And the first couple of months of our relationship were too good to be true. Too good to be true that I just remember saying it to my friends, like, it's too good to be true. Something's gonna happen. I can feel it. And yeah, you best bet something happened. I found out some skeletons in the closet that were definitely not something to be happy about. But as this person's girlfriend, it felt wrong to get up and leave because of a mistake that had nothing to do with me, that happened before I even existed. And I decided to, stick through it and be strong for not only him, but be strong for us. And when the skeletons in the closet kind of kept falling out, and guys, I am a really, really open person. When someone gets to know me, when I'm in a relationship with someone, I'm open. You can ask me any question in the whole entire book, and I will be so honest with you. I give my heart to the person that I'm with. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't like to keep skeletons in the closet in my personal relationships. It's just not me. When all of the skeletons in their closet started to kind of just fall out, they started to question their trust in me. And I had never done anything wrong or anything to create that doubt. So I remember the day that it happened, there was a phone call from like a telemarketer, or one of those phone calls that you get that has your number, basically almost your full number. And it was after all of this had kind of gone down, and he questioned, like, who is that? Who's calling you? And right then and there, it was a slap in the face. I definitely know right from wrong. And that set off a red flag in my head almost immediately. And I just let it pass because it just something crazy had just happened, and I was like, it has nothing to do with me. Just move on from it and, move forward and just be there for him. And I gave that red flag an excuse. Our relationship continued on, and more of those red flags kept coming up. He started to question what I did with my time, who I was talking to, who's sliding into my DMs, who's Snapchatting me, who's this number texting me, questioning if I'm cheating on him or if I'm doing something wrong. It started to get to the point where sometimes it was so ridiculous, to the point where I would get a text message, and you guys, ladies, women, anyone out there, please understand that if you're in a relationship with someone and you receive a text message or a DM from someone that either you don't know, or someone that you used to talk to, or a friend that is of the opposite sex or the same sex, in my case, the opposite sex. If I got a text from a guy that I used to talk to, or someone that I didn't know slid into my DMs complimenting me or saying something inappropriate, it's out of my control. I do not control someone's fingers, someone's mind. I cannot and will never be able to control who texts me, who calls me, who DMs me, who talks to me out on the street, who comes up to me and compliments me in a bar. That is so out of my control that when we would fight over these petty things, it was almost comical. He would say things like, well, you should have burned the bridge better. Guys, you could burn the bridge with someone so bad. You can call them every name in the book, burn that bridge to the ground, sink it, whatever, and that person will still come back and text you. And it is out of your control. What is in your control is your actions as to how you deal with that text. I'm an adult. If someone compliments me or wishes me a Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving or a Happy Birthday, or calls me beautiful, I say, thank you, you too. I don't see a reason to burn the bridge. I don't see a reason to be nasty when someone wasn't being nasty towards me. Now, if they continue the conversation and, you know, ask me to go on a date with them, be like, I'm sorry, but I'm with someone that I really care about. I wish you all the best. Or you can just not answer it at all. I think that we are adults here and we can treat situations like that as an adult. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case in my relationship. It was almost scary to receive a text message and I would blatantly leave it there as proof. Just in case something came back to bite me in the ass, I would leave it there as proof to prove that I didn't answer it. And I would still get questioned about it. It would turn into a huge, huge blowout to the point where things are being thrown. Computers and phones are being held like hostage. And, names would be called back and forth. And it would eventually ruin every single holiday. Every single holiday, every single vacation, every single event, special occasion. Those fights started to escalate into, pushing and shoving. The emotional abuse and mental abuse and manipulative personality of him was so overwhelming. And I sit here and ask the question that you guys are probably asking yourselves, why did you stay? Because that story, that time in my life that happened over a decade ago, the severity of what went on the first couple of months wasn't as severe to me because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to being called names, getting pushed around, things being thrown at me, screaming. I am used to fights not starting with communication. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I didn't fight back, because I did. 14-year-old me wouldn't fight back for shit. But 22, 23, 24-year-old me fought back in whatever way I could. Now, because I didn't see the severity of what was going on in this relationship, I let it continue and I tried to save it. And we moved in together, and shortly after moving in together, very shortly after moving in together, and I don't know if you guys understand what happens when you move in with someone. There's a lot of legalities involved, like the contract and the place that you have and all the bills, the rent, the electric, cable, gas, everything. And almost a week or two after, found ourselves in a fight again. But this time it was escalated to be assault. Getting spit on is not the type of domestic violence or abuse that we see like in movies and on TV. It doesn't leave a physical scar, it doesn't leave a bruise, it doesn't leave a cut. I'm not running to the hospital, but it is probably one of the most degrading things that has ever happened to me. And I sat there with a really difficult decision. Do I stay or do I go? What the hell do I do? And I stayed. Because I didn't feel or understand the severity of how fucked up that really is. Everything kind of continued as it did the months before. It was just a consistent battle of me trying to be this person that I wasn't. This person that he wanted me to be. And all the promises that I made to you guys about uploading something or doing something, I found myself within my own head laying in bed crying for half the day. Me trying to put all of these things, all of these fights, all of these opportunities and all of these amazing like holidays and special occasions and just events and things that should have been amazing, that should have been amazing, just behind me. I was going through my phone the other day, just cleaning out pictures and videos, and I'm just seeing all of these pictures of times that should have been amazing, should have been memories that I want to keep forever. And I don't. Because in every single one of them, I remember a fight. A name that I was called, or I remember right after the picture was taken, something happening, or being questioned for something, or just the night going to shit. That was literally my life. I guess I could say that it, for some extent, it quieted down, but it always would circle back. Everything would always circle back, and old fights would be brought up. I was still being, you know, untrusted for no reason. As I mentioned to you guys before, any type of abuse, any type of manipulator, it is a never-ending circle. And that circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I never saw the severity, the true severity. I am not an idiot. I knew that these things were wrong. I felt it in the pit of my stomach. They're so minuscule in a much bigger picture, but they are such a big red flag reason to leave a relationship. There was a day where we went out drinking, and after we were leaving the bar, we were put in a situation that made me really uncomfortable, and him and his friend were just acting really childish in my car and screaming with this other person that was screaming to a McDonald's employee. And I started to get really uncomfortable, and because I didn't want anything to happen. I was tired. I'm the DD, like, driving home, and I said whatever I said, like, please close the window. Bring your, like, when we got back, the entire time driving back home, he was calling me every name in the book. Every name in the book. And I tried to stay strong at one point, and I just started bawling my eyes out. We got back, and he tried to get in his car drunk, and I did what anybody would do, try to stop him. I'm not going to be responsible for letting someone get in their car drunk. Me and his friend eventually got him to come upstairs, and he was still kind of being much of an instigator, and I just wasn't saying anything at this point. I kind of like try to let him cool off, and I think by doing that it made him more angry. He ended up making his friend angry, and his friend left, so he tried to leave drunk. And I stood in front of the door making sure that, again, he doesn't get in his car and kill himself, or God forbid kill anyone else. And I found myself there getting screamed at and things thrown at me, and then eventually he got so angry to the point where he put his hands around my neck and said some things that scared the shit out of me. And I just sat there bawling my eyes out in a corner, and I had no idea what to do. I was so scared of calling the police. I just called the one person that I thought was the right person to call, and his mom came and diffused the situation, and a week or so later, here we are back to the beginning of the circle. And I was definitely feeling different. I was going back and forth in my head, how am I gonna get out of this? At that point, I was in one of the most crucial parts of my career, and I said that I would never let anyone get in between my career, because my career means so much to me. You guys, I don't do this to be famous. Like, I don't do this to get free makeup. I don't do this for fun. Like, I do this career because 10 years ago someone took this away from me. As a 14-year-old girl, I wasn't able to play with makeup like everybody else and do my hair all pretty and get all dressed up. So over the years after that, I tried my best to play catch up. So for the next couple of weeks after that, I sucked it up. And I decided to just kind of like put it all behind me for now and focus on my career. To pick up everything in the middle of my 31 days of Halloween and leave would have been, I know you guys are sitting there like thinking, no, it wouldn't have, no, it wouldn't have. Yes, it would have. To skip the 31 days of Halloween, that is a huge project that made me help me create this huge platform that I have today, and to put that to the side and let this person win was not in the cards. So I woke up every day just waiting for it to hopefully die down. Maybe figure out a day that would work best to kind of put everything behind me. And here we are. Just like I did years ago when I was younger, I just kind of one day got up and just decided I'm done. That's it. I found the strength in me to get up and say, I'm done, that's it. I'm not gonna let someone get in the way of my aspirations, my goals, my dreams. I'm not gonna let someone treat me in this horrible, horrible way. I'm not. As most of you guys know, I moved. I live closer to the city. I live closer to home. I'm back in Jersey. I'm not. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave my past behind me and move forward to bigger, better, more amazing things. I'm ready to I'm ready to be happy. And I'm really excited for what's to come in 2019. I sure as hell can tell you that it has not been easy, and I know you guys have noticed that I've been a little MIA the past couple of months or so. My relationships have really defined who I am, and I think in the relationships I've been in, I've let myself fall weak. I've lost myself in these relationships, and it is so difficult to find myself again. And I think what's really important is that I'm realizing this, I'm seeing this, and I am taking action to love myself and know myself before I give any piece of me to another person. I wanted to share this with you guys because it has been such a big part of my life. All of this has been such a big part of my life the past year and some change. I have sat there multiple times and have asked God, like, why do I deserve this again? Why do I deserve to go through another ridiculously hard obstacle in my life? And I think that I've come to the realization that I was meant to go through this one last time, was meant to go through something like this so that I can be sitting here sharing it with you today. I'm so ready to move forward and be the woman that I was meant to be. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. I cannot sit here and tell you guys that I love myself in its entirety. I can't tell you that I love the 30 pounds that I gained over the past year. I can't tell you that all the work that I create, I love. I can't tell you that I'm happy every single day when I wake up, but I can tell you that I'm ready to love myself. I'm ready to learn to love myself again. I'm ready to be strong, and I'm ready to live my best life, be happy. Not only am I ready, but I'm smarter and I'm stronger now. The next person that has my heart is going to be someone that deserves it. And it's going to be someone that supports me and loves me for who I am. It's gonna be a real man. The things that I have gone through, and I wanted to share just a piece of it to prove to you that you're not alone. You are not alone. And I can't tell you how many times I have felt alone. And if I were to have heard that someone is going through the same thing as me, maybe I would have gotten out of it sooner. Maybe I would have took action. Maybe I would have at least smiled that one day. I want you guys to know that domestic violence, suicide, depression, anxiety, physical assault, mental abuse, emotional abuse, all of those things are real. Getting things thrown at you, being pushed, being called names, being choked, being spit on, those are all forms of domestic violence. No, I don't have any bruises on my body. I don't have any scars to prove that I was physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally abused. I don't have any scars to show you guys that. But just because I don't have a physical scar doesn't mean it didn't happen. Doesn't mean that it's not physical abuse, that it's not mental abuse. These are serious things, and I didn't realize the severity of them until I got myself out. These are things to not be taken lightly. These are major, major, major red flags. And Lord only knows that if I were to stay, what could have happened next. My biggest fear, and it's completely out of my control, my biggest fear is turning on the TV one day and seeing that any of these people hurt someone to the point where they are in the hospital, or they're in their grave, or they hurt them worse than me, or they weren't strong enough to hold their own, or they weren't able to stand on their 2 feet, they fell the wrong way. That is why I'm making this video. I can't save that person, but maybe I can save one of you guys. It took me a really long time to save myself. And I'm really happy that I'm sitting here today telling you that I did. I'm a stronger woman today because of the things that I've gone through. Big, small, negative or positive. I could literally cry because I'm so happy that this is out there. I cannot express it to you guys enough how easy it is to breathe now. How easy it is to be happy and do the things that I love to do. And most importantly, how easy it is to be me. I am leaving so much behind me. I'm leaving it in 2018. It's going to stay there. It's going to be a part of who I am. It's going to be what made me into this woman that I am today. I can only hope that my story of fault, negativity, weakness, I can only hope that by sharing that with you guys, you can see who I really am. The person that so that you guys can see me. This is me. And I promise you guys, there's gonna be so much content, so much of Glitter Queen, that you're gonna be finding glitter all over your house, that you're not gonna be able to catch up. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this video. Thank you guys for supporting me throughout the years, and thank you for understanding when I didn't hold up to my promises, and understanding when I had a rough day. Just thank you for supporting me. And thank you to all of my friends and family that have supported me. I'm going to put a ton of information in the description down below, you guys. Please make sure to check that out. If you or anyone you know is dealing with anything that is related to my story, even remotely related to my story, or just going through a tough time at all of that information is going to be down below. Thank you. And I can't wait to see you guys in 2019.